Boas pessoal, estamos aqui mais uma vez com a Sony. Eu, Pedro Coelho.
Eu, André Lopes.
Para a apresentação do inFamous Second Son, que é o quarto jogo da série, correto?
Há os dois principais, o DLC e este.
E viemos aqui ao Museu da Carris, portanto isto é em Lisboa. Como podem ver, isto está assim um bocado antigo, mas acho que faz parte aqui do ambiente. O que é que esperamos, André?
Esperamos ver em inFamous Second Son vários poderes bacanas. Esperamos ver umas raparigas fixe, não é? O que é que achaste das raparigas?
Não sei, ainda não as vi.
Ainda não as vimos. Esperamos ver se calhar um bocado de parkour aqui, não sei. É capaz de haver por causa da série. E comida boa. É isso que esperamos encontrar.
Comida boa, isso é uma questão. Daniel, o que é que tens a dizer sobre isso?
Eu não ouvo, acho eu.
Ele não ouve. Bem pessoal, parece que vamos entrevistar ou o produtor ou o diretor da marca, correto?
Uma coisa assim.
Vamos estar à espera. Primeiro vai haver uma apresentação inicial e um trailer. Também vamos poder experimentar o jogo. Vocês já puderam experimentar, mas acho que o que nós vamos experimentar tem um update novo, certo?
Não, eles não puderam experimentar. Mas nós vamos experimentar com o update novo e vamos postar as informações no site, aquilo que é que achamos do jogo, né? Se curtimos, se não curtimos, se está fixe. É basicamente isso.
Esperamos muita diversão. Como veem, está a sol, está a bom tempo. Vocês devem estar na praia nesta altura, mas logo à noite não se esqueçam de botar like ou qualquer coisa assim.
Um like.
Nós precisamos.
Que nós precisamos do nosso trabalho, pessoal. Nós trabalhamos daqui do coração.
Ele está a malhar no ginásio para que vocês o aceitem. Portanto, é isto. Esperem aí por um bocado que nós já vimos, correto?
Até já, pessoal.
Até já.
Pessoal, estamos aqui com Ken de inFamous Second Son. Vamos fazer umas perguntas, saber o que é que está a passar no jogo, ok? Então bora lá. Ken, beginning with...
Well, first of all, thank you Portugal for having me. Look at this beautiful day. This is definitely not Seattle where the weather
You don't have to have this weather, kind of weather in Seattle. Not in the summer, not even in the summer?
Oh, we get 1.5 months of it.
Do you have beaches there?
No.
I don't.
No beach. We have water. We have water, but no beaches.
Oh, well, that sucks. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe that's why you call it sucker punch, because that sucks.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
What you got?
So Ken, I would like for those kind of guys that new to the series, that they kind of, oh, I don't know the story, I'm not sure if I want to pick up in this entry. The story will not be related to the previous entries of the franchise.
You know what? No, you can. This is a standalone title. You can jump right into the game, play the story, and you're going to have a lot of fun. Now, that's not to say, if you have played Infamous 1 and 2, I mean, the story is set 7 years after the events of Infamous 1 and 2, right? So it is the same world. So you're going to see a lot of references of Cole and everything like that in the game. But at the same time, you don't need those references to enjoy it, Second Son, right? So that's how I'd say, is that, you know, we obviously would love for you to play Infamous 1 and 2, and you'll get that richer experience. But that's to also include the Cole's Legacy, right? Which will bridge Infamous 2 and Second Son together. But yeah, for all those people on the fence as far as the story, I don't know. It's like, don't be. I mean, because the new character, new hero, new powers, new console, new city, you know. I mean, so it very much is a brand. I mean, look at the title. I mean, it's Infamous is in small letters because we don't hide from it. I mean, you're going to put that game in, you'll hold that controller, you're going to go, oh, this is Infamous, right? But it's Second Son in big letters because it is a brand new game.
So, how big will be the city? It will be the entire Seattle?
I'm doing the interview now.
How big will be the city? Entire Seattle, half of it, a quarter?
Yeah.
How big?
Yeah, good question. We get that a lot. The way to think about it is it's an open world game, right? So if you're talking physical, size or something like that, I think it's actually, I believe it's a little bit bigger than the Infamous 1 and 2 maps, right? But just remember, it's an open world game, right? So not only are you getting the story missions, you're really getting 2 story missions because you've got to play both ways, right? And then you got the side missions, the collectibles, and one of the biggest side missions is clearing out the DUP. We were talking a little bit earlier about the transition to Infamous 1 and 2 to Second Son. It is 7 years after the events, like I said. So with the DUP moving in and taking over the city, you're going to have a lot of fun, taking down taking down all their locked areas. I mean, there's breakables galore, right? And who doesn't like having fun doing the breakables?
Talking a bit about the DualShock 4, are you going to take advantage of the new features like integrated speakers, the light bar, touchpad? You're going to take advantage of that, of course. No?
Yeah, I mean, before I even get to the DS4, if you're talking about PS4 and what it brings to Second Son, the first thing you're going to do is once you put that disc in there and start playing it, you're going to see the visual improvements, right? Okay? And okay, and then then I will go straight to the DS4 then and let you into. Okay, the DS4, when you play a game like ours where the fluidity of moving around the environment is very much the core to experience, having the DS4 fix those dead spots and the precision in the triggers, huge as far as interpreting our gameplay, right? But on top of that, you've seen how we've incorporated the touchpad, whether it's scanning, whether it's opening doors, whether it's opening up the core and punching. With many examples throughout our game where we use the touchpad. And you touched on the speaker. You're absolutely right. That speaker is so undervalued because it brings custom sounds right there. We can bring ambient sounds from the Seattle coming right through your speaker when the walkie-talkies happen. And it's coming right there. It's like you're actually talking to someone. It's not coming from the box over there. So that speaker is undervalued in my opinion. And of course, on March 21st, we hope everybody starts using that share button, right? And then you see the blue and red light bars. I mean, it's not something that you're going to see probably look into. Oh yeah, I'm playing evil. But I'll tell you what, you're playing your controller and you see a reflection off the TV every once in a while. Oh yeah, I'm playing evil, right? All right.
Okay, now about the graphics. Tell me about the graphics, new chances, resolution, and facial expressions, because I know that facial expressions are a real big feature in this game.
Well, you're touching upon the other big notions of how the PS4 is helping out Second Son. Graphics. You're going to put in our disc, put that and you're going to just see it. You're going to be able to know what's going on. But more importantly is that we went with Seattle, a real city, because we finally felt like we had a world that was alive. Because there's so much density as you go through our environments. It's alive. So we went with Seattle. That's the first time we could do that is because we had that kind of power. And then you talk about the facial animation. I mean, the storytelling in Second Son is leaps and bounds over what we've done previously, and that's because of the technology, right? Now we can put Troy Baker and Travis Willingham in those suits and there's so many points on the face that we can get that emotional value when they go through a scene. We can get that emotional chemistry that they have, right? So when Delson's pissed off at Reggie or something in a cutscene, you don't even have to hear Delson speak. You can see it in his face. And I mean, how great is that to have that kind of level of technology in a game?
Talking a little bit now of choices, because choices are another big huge feature of the Infamous interest. Will there be multiple finals instead of both finals 1 and 2, good and evil? Are there going to be fixed choices like the player knows, okay, this is a choice, good and evil? Or there will be consequences that will be tilted from the gamer? Like if I kill a civilian, there's going to be a consequence.
Yeah, we've changed presentation quite a bit in as far as our choices. You've seen it today in demo where you can redeem or corrupt fetch,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And those are our big stop moments, big decisions, because once you make that choice, right, that character is going to go down that route or go down that route. But what I want to bring to your attention is the second-to-second choices. All right, you saw in the demo you were playing, you're in a neon power set, and you put on the targeting.
Yeah.
You've got a red to obliterate, evil.
Yeah.
You got the blue to subdue.
Exactly.
Okay, so when you start making second-to-second combat decisions that affect your powers, well, guess what? You're going to start affecting Delsin, right? Delsin's appearance will start changing. His red ravens in the back, right? Or the white raven, depending on how you play, will start dominating his back, right? But that's just subtle changes in the character. But once you start changing the character, guess what happens? The city starts getting affected, the story starts getting affected. But that, I want to bring back all that to the fact that it brings in two very distinct play styles, right? And playthroughs. I mean, if you don't play our second game or play the game through twice, you might lose out a lot of content. I go back to the Redeem and Corrupt. When you make a choice, you got one different mission versus the other. They're very different, right? But yeah, it's the play styles. It's very, very different to play good. I mean, you got to be precise. For example, you're building up your karma bomb meter. If you don't do heroic acts consistently, you do one evil act, it resets.
It's kind of difficult to
Right, that's right. But we do that on purpose. You're good. You better be careful, right?
Yeah.
If you're evil, the reward is you got to go fast. If you don't build it up fast enough, it'll just reset. So we really, it really is, about how evil you want to be and how good you want to be, if you will.
I know you can talk me more than the 12 powers you've already showed, that is neon and smoke, but how will players switch between powers?
Okay. The key thing to note about our powers, which we are showing smoke and neon, is that it has to be very plentiful in our environment, right? And two, it has to be drawn from the environment. So the powers switch depending on what resource you're drawing on.
You can switch on the fly.
You go to smoke thing, you drain it, you have your smoke power set.
Exactly.
You drain a neon sign, you have a neon power set. They'll never be combined, right? We can't use smoke and neon. You have to power set. And we did that on purpose because they're very different power sets. And I mean, for example, with smoke, it's good for in close combat. But if you wanted to go from point A to point B very quickly in our game, you're going to go draw a neon sign and just cruise, right? So if you think about it, that's, if your fans are trying to predict what our other powers are, is, like I said, they have to be plentiful. It has to be drawn from the environment. And you know what? Probably, well, water's pretty common, right? Is neon and smoke pretty common? Okay, so you got to think about how that works, right? So we don't want any powers where people have preconceived notions on how that presentation should be, because quite honestly, let's just take water for example. You brought up your idea of how the water power should work, because you know water and you feel you would be very differently since his. It's all subjective, right? So we're going to end up disappointing somebody, right? But neon and smoke, do you know what they should be looking like? No, we get to present it to you. We get to be creative, and there is no disappointment. It's just experiencing it and having fun with them.
Okay, just to finish, what kind of online features, if any at all, will be in the game?
One more time.
What kind of online features, if any at all, will be in the game?
We have some surprises. There are some surprises. I'm not sure what you're referring to as online. I mean, we got
leaderboard, like the players can create missions for other players.
No, there's not a UGC component of this game. No, we very much concentrate on the single player experience. It's an open world game, so you get two ways to actually play, and then you got all the side missions and collectibles, of course. And I talked about how taking down the DUP controlled area is a huge side mission in itself. So let's just say you're going to have plenty to do, and it's going to take you a while to platinum our game.
Okay. Pedro has a question for you.
Okay.
I have just one particular question. In this game or in the future, there is going to be any power to understand human minds, or will just be keeping man like laying down on the couch with a beer in our hands and don't understanding what we are doing wrong with them?
Well, that all depends on who you ask in our company, right? Because some of us would like to have X-ray vision too, right? All right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I shall hand the mic over.
Thank you.
Thank you, Portugal.
Não fazes o bigode?
Tapaz essa cara e
Piadas de quinto ano agora.
pá, isso assim,
E esse bigode?
essa cara.
Esta cara? O que é que tem esta cara?
Exatamente isso.
Quando é que é a entrevista?
Então porquê agora? Sei.
Então lá vais perguntar, está bem?
Mal feito.